Scored 3 goals in his Ireland career, and they were all of them absolute crackers. He was a fully signed up member of the Spice Boys and the Three Amigos. Ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation for Jason McAteer. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm in good form, yeah.
You get back to Ireland quite a bit.
Yeah, we play a lot of Legends football, so we're in and out of Ireland. Any excuse really, so to come back home and have a few pints of Guinness and have the crack. Yeah. The biggest question I get asked is, what was it like to play for Ireland? And I used to say it was great and I played for some of my heroes, but I thought I needed a bit of a story. So to sum up what it was like playing for Ireland, I get a phone call from Jack Charlton. Can you come to my room? So I'm thinking, what have me and Gary Kelly done now? So I actually thought we were going to get told off. Well, I thought I was getting told off. So anyway, I goes to see Jack and he says to me, listen, and he said, you're playing tomorrow against Norway. And of course I couldn't believe it. He said, get your head down, get some sleep, because I didn't sleep a wink. So I manages to get to Giant Stadium and we get into the dressing room. We're there an hour and a half before. And then we go out and I'll set the scene. There's like 100,000 people at Giant Stadium. It's 100 degrees. There's millions watching around the world. My family and my friends are in the crowd. It's the most proudest moment of my life. We come out onto the pitch. Ireland have lined up here, Norway have lined up here, and the referee's in the middle, like you see with the Champions League now. So the national anthem starts. Anyway, I've got my chest out. I've got John Aldridge here, and I've got Roy Keane standing this side of me. I used to try and stand next to one of my heroes, because I used to think he'd rub off on me and I'd play even better. So I had John there. Roy was rubbish, yes. So I'm standing there with my chest out like this. So anyway, I've looked down the line, and Andy Townsend, he's whispered into Packy Bonner's ear. And then Packy Bonner's then whispered into Terry Phelan's ear. Then it goes into Paul McGrath's. And it goes down the line into Steve Staunton's. So it's coming up to John, and I'm thinking to myself, when John comes to me, all you've got to do, because I'm not the brightest button in the box, I'm thinking to myself, just listen, right? It's obviously going to be last-minute instructions, like, don't give the ball away, you know, keep it tight, we only need a draw. I'm thinking it's going to be instructions like this. So it gets to John. So I'm standing there with my chest out. So next thing, John leans across, and he just whispers in me, and he goes, row F, bird with the Viking hat. He went, look at the size of her boobs. And then he went to me, pass it on. So I've gone, Jesus Christ, they're massive. So I've gone, Jesus Christ, it's Roy. And I went to all up, it's Roy. He went, just tell him. So I went, I can't. He went, just tell him. So I went, keep it tight, Roy, don't give the ball away, don't do anything stupid.
The stories about what happened after the Holland game are kind of quite famous. I don't know if you're aware of how many different versions of the story there are. There's the version where you turn down Bono's helicopter to go up to Slane to the after party.
Yeah, that is true. Damn, I thought it was a wind-up. Well, Mick Byrne, who we were talking about before, the physio, he done a little bit of work for U2 when we went in. He used to give Bono a rub and a massage and all the rest of it. And he was one for telling little porky pies, Mick. He used to tell a few fibs now and again. So anyway, we finished the game, and of course I'm really emotional after the game, and he's giving me a big hug, and he whispers into me and he goes, Bono wants you to go down to Slane in his helicopter and go on stage with him. And of course I've gone, behave yourself, Mick. Bono doesn't want me to go on stage with him. So he said, he does. I said, no, I'm not having it, Mick. You're winding me up. So I said, tell Bono I'm not going. I'm going out with John Aldridge on the ale and the lads. So I thought it was a lie until I was in Las Vegas, and I was having a wee, and there was an Irish lad next to me, and he said, Jason McAteer, he said, last time I seen you I was watching a DVD of U2 at Slane. He said, weren't you supposed to come out when Bono shouted your name? I thought, I've messed up here. Messed up. Yeah, I was supposed to go on stage with Bono and Slane, yeah.
It does sound like you had a good enough night though that night.
He says the Irish football team were the best warm-up party he'd ever had, because he put the game on at Slane before the concerts, and of course we got the results, and everyone was really in good spirits, and the concert went really well, I believe.
After the Holland game, wasn't it? We played against Holland, and we were all back in it always used to seem to go to our room with Niall at the time, so it was me and Quinny in the room, and we had, Jason describes it as a screwdriver, but it was actually a bottle top opener. We had the bottle top open. The rooms, when you open the rooms, it kind of, there was a screw to stop the room, to stop the door opening wide, so you couldn't get out. So anyway, I'm unscrewing the screw, and anyway, we get the screw open, getting the window open as wide as we can, and it's literally so tight to get through this door. So like Quinny gets through this really tight door. And I think I'm next one to go through. Maybe 2 or 3's gone through. I think Robbie and a few lads, they've all got out. And I'm getting through this door. And all of a sudden, Mick Byrne, the physio, comes in behind me, grabs me as quick as he can, like pulls me back into the room. And then all of a sudden, obviously, we've missed the night out. And there's maybe 10, 12 of the lads, they're all heading into Dublin. And we missed the crack that night, wasn't it? Yeah.
Just to elaborate on that story, right? We'd actually been told we couldn't go out. Right, so they screwed the windows in our room, right? They screwed them tight with screws like that big.
They knew you
In fact,
were.
they were that big. Screws like that, right? They stopped the windows from opening so we couldn't get out. So next thing, the call's gone around the rooms. We're sneaking out. We're going over the wall. We're sneaking out. It's like the Great Escape, right? So Quinny rings me and I've gone, have you got any taxis ordered? He went, yeah. And just as I said that, right, like we're all whispering on the phones as if McAteer was like, we're whispering down the phones, right? You just heard, taxi driver's outside, right? The loudest horn you've ever heard, right? So I said to Quinny, how are we getting out? He went, it's okay, Kev's got a screwdriver. He's unscrewing the screws as we speak. Come to my room in 5 minutes.
He was the brains of the operation, then the Steve McQueen.
Yeah, he was the Steve McQueen of the job, yeah. So I get to his room and he's unscrewing this screw and we managed to get the window open about that much. We managed to get out and get into Dublin for a few hours, yeah.
A good night out?
It was a great night out. Another one I can't remember.
Yeah. So we've had a series of questions coming in. People want to know, how did you get the nickname Trigger?
Well, we were in America at that World Cup in '94, and Jack Charlton said to us, we all had nicknames, and I really was just in the squad. I was not McAteer at the time, whatever, J.O. And Jack Charlton said to the lads, right, you can go out to one of these American diners, you can have a few pints and something to eat, go and enjoy yourselves. So about 14, 15 of us went out to this American diner, and there was a waitress. The lads were getting a few pints down them and getting a little bit leery and a little bit livery. And the waitress was having a bit of a hard time, and I thought I'd make a bit of conversation with this waitress, American waitress. So I said to her, how are you? She went, yeah, I'm fine, I'm good. I said, where are you from? She went, I'm from Pennsylvania. And I went, She went, that's Transylvania. What do you want to eat? Schoolboy error, I know.
There's quite a lot of these stories, it turns out.
Yeah, well, I tried to sort of play down the trigger role after that and try and be really clever, so...
But footballers are footballers.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a credit card because obviously, as I went into my career, I started earning some decent money and that. My mum let me have a credit card. I was about 26. So I was filling in the form, but I didn't want to ask the lads any of the questions, on the form. I wanted to fill it in myself and do it myself. Kind of an achievement. And it named Jason McAteer, said age, worked it out, 18 for the 6, 71. Worked out my age, all that, and then it said company you work for, I put Liverpool Football Club. It said what position do you hold in the company, I put right back down. Yeah.
I think that's fair enough. I don't I can see there's a logic to that.
Yeah, and then I seen Jimmy White and Lily Bordello's one night. It was after the Holland game, wasn't it? It was true. We landed on the tarmac at Dublin Airport about 12:30 at night. And now Quinn said, right, we'll go straight into Lily. So we're all in our tracksuits, straight down to Lily Bordello, straight in. Jimmy White's in there with Ronnie Wood. A little bit worse for wear. And because Jimmy's one of my heroes, I like them characters, the Gaza characters, the Jimmy White, a little bit out of Ronnie O'Sullivan, that kind of character in sport. And I really wanted to say something, but he was in no fit state. So as he walked past, I said to Gary Breen, there's Jimmy White. And he went, he's one of your heroes. And he said, yeah. He said, you've got to say something. So he was walking out the door. So he said, say something. And as he hit me like that, I stood up and I went, Jimmy. And he looked at me right in the face. And I've looked at him, when you get that blank, you don't know what to say. And Breeny went, say something. And I went, 180. Breeny went, it's darts. It's darts. Never worked. Okay, I got the thumbs up though, Jimmy.